Can you hear that? That's my kitty. That's the kitty in me, inside me, the kitty. It echoes through the house, and there's whimpering all around me. I'm sorry if that's like nails on a chalkboard for you and sends shivers up your spine. I'm sorry, I had to demonstrate. I have been so concerned lately about what's going to happen when I make it big. If I'm going to be the person that I always thought I would be after I make it big. And then the kitty inside me acts up and says, because my life, I've always been that kitty. That sits at a window and looks out at the window, but I was always raised indoors. And I'm looking through the window. I've never been outside because my owners, my parents, I guess, they never let me out. So I always look through the window. And I've always wondered, being that kitty, whether there really is a world outside the window, or whether it's just an elaborate screen, a display, a kind of retinal extravaganza, just playing right here in my eyes. Whether outside of the window is really any world at all. There's a whimper inside me, because outside of that window, I see the world that I aspired to. I see success. I see fame. I see celebrity. I see Oprah Winfrey. And being a kitty, I really like Oprah Winfrey. All my life, ever since I saw Oprah Winfrey and all the celebrities on her show sitting in sofas and having a great time, and to a lesser extent, Ellen DeGeneres, otherwise known as Ellen Degenerate, I have thought that maybe the best thing I could do with myself is create a trajectory for me that would lead me as a kitty to Oprah Winfrey. Now, of course, it's unclear what is outside the window. I'm just sitting at the window, and I, like any good cat, or I should say kitty, I kind of languidly wag my tail as I look out, and I see all the temptations on the trees and in the bushes and on the ground. Birds, squirrels, maybe the occasional raccoon, a mouse, another kitty, a dog, a human being. And for me, I'm so mesmerized by the things outside of the window, by the Oprah Winfrey that awaits me. I let out another. All my life, I've had this little kitty inside of me that can make noises such as the one I just made. And if I'm on Oprah Winfrey, because of all the viral progress of my YouTube videos, you can bet the first thing she's gonna see is my kitty. But I'm a little concerned. Once I go outside the window, whether I will remain the innocent kitty that I am inside. Whether the innocent kitty that you see now will remain the innocent kitty, or will I become one of those douchebags who wants everybody to suspend their schedule for the douchebag. Where everybody waits on the douchebag, because the douchebag's sense of time is more important than anybody else's sense of time. The sense of entitlement of the douchebag doesn't care about the inner kitties, the innocent little kitties inside all of us. Can you hear the dogs? I hear the dogs. Those are dogs outside the window, and I sit at the window and I wonder, once I get outside the window and I'm on Oprah Winfrey, whether I'll be surrounded by dogs that are will these dogs devour the sense of my interior innocence? Oh, the dogs are in my ears. But when I get on Oprah, I'm going to tell her what inspires me the most and why I'm on Oprah and how I got to the point where Oprah is the logical conclusion to my trajectory, to the narrative arc of my life, because it's all about Oprah. You know it's about Oprah. Once I'm on Oprah, I mean, arguably, once I'm on Oprah, I've already made it. But once I'm on Oprah, then I seal the deal, and I'm the real thing. I've got my bona fides, as they say. My bona fides. I've been legitimized by Oprah Winfrey. And I'm there. You know, when Tom Cruise was jumping on the couch over, what's her name? Katie something, can't remember. Kate. I'm gonna be on that couch too. And what kind of person am I gonna be when I become a YouTube celebrity? Am I gonna forget the little kitty that sat in the kitchen and looked out through the window and dreamed and was very pure? Was a kitty. You know kitties. Have you ever scratched a kitty? Right here. They go into bliss. Because I think a kitty is programmed by evolution to feel bliss whenever you rub right here, because baby kitties will rub up against the mama kitty or the daddy kitty right here. And that forms a kind of hormonal bond, or helps to form the hormonal bond between kitty child and kitty parent. So if I can get on Oprah Winfrey and I can have her do that to me, or if I can do that to her, or we can do that to each other, then I can establish the inner kitty for Oprah as it pertains to the inner kitty of me. Because you know that we all have inner kitties, and this is reminding me of, I think, what Bucky Fuller said about the integrity of man, that the real challenge and the only way out of our mess is if we really come to understand our own deep integrity as human beings. That you can't get it from outside of you. You have to come from within. And of course, we're always informed by what is outside of us. Education, religion, entertainment, media. But at some point, we have to become so solid and strong that we form our own compass, and our own kitty takes us across the sea. So you can see that I've come a long way as a kitty, being born into a house, staring out through the glass, and now I imagine myself a captain of a ship. Much like Walt Whitman would say, I am the captain of my own soul. I am the captain of my soul, right? So I am now a kitty on a ship going into the unknown, like Sinbad sailing the seven seas. Something else to talk about. I'm going to take a moment of silence here and now. Create what's called a caesura, which is Latin for break. I'm going to create a break in the storyline. And now I'm going to introduce to you another element. This element is what keeps me sane, what keeps me from capitulating to that great sense of dread when I find that my hope is aspiring to some level of achievement and success that is not even possible for me at all, that will never come to me. And I'm stuck here, and it's no longer satisfactory just to remain a kitty looking outside of a window, but I've got to do something else. I've got to ground myself so deeply in the present moment that being a kitty not merely suffices for the angst in the inside part of my identity, the deepest part of me. Being a kitty is not enough in this world, and you know it. Once you go outside that window, the dogs are going to tear you up. So how do you never go outside that window at all? How do you realize this is all a microcosm of your mind? This whole sense of going into the stratosphere of success. Deviate from the well-trod path of your own respectability. You worry about what you're going to become. I worry about what I'm going to become. Am I going to become one of those douchebags? Well, obviously, you and I know that the little kitty can't overcome a douchebag. The kitty is dead. Fuck a bunch of Oprah Winfrey. I'm not going to Oprah Winfrey. I'll tell you what I do. Usually the thoughts of going to Oprah Winfrey, of being a kitty who's let out of my cage, who goes through the window and runs through the neighborhood in frolicsome abandon. Usually that happens over coffee when I'm having my Nutella croissant. And I'm exploring the nuance of life. And then I'm just fucking crushed because I know the dogs of war are outside my door. And because I've had 2 cups of coffee and my mind is getting very hyper agitated with the possibilities of reality. I've got to bring it down, and I've got to go brush my teeth, and I've got to ground myself in the present moment, because it's just not enough to be a kitty in this world. Innocence is not going to get you anywhere, so you've got to ground yourself in the present moment. And this is what I do. At the mirror, after breakfast, with coffee and Nutella croissants, and I've given up on the kitty inside me. I've given up on the innocence, cause there's just howling and barking everywhere. If you haven't noticed, even during this video, there's howling and barking everywhere. Every single video I make, there's howling and barking. I fucking hate it, and you can see I'm sweating like a dog, as they say. So I'm staring in front of the mirror. I don't know about you, but I get lost when I'm brushing my teeth in front of the mirror. There's got to be a name, a neologism, a portmanteau that combines brushing teeth in front of the mirror and getting lost in thought. Ex cogito, ergo toothbrush. So hard to stay in the present moment even when you're brushing your teeth, because at this point I'm like thinking about Oprah. I can't get my kitty mind off of Oprah. I feel like it's my destiny to be on Oprah Winfrey's show. But I know the kitty in me can't survive that. That there's something about me that wants to be a kitty at the window my whole life, right? That I don't want to go outside and subject myself to the canines. No, it gets harder to talk when I'm thinking, but I mean, when I'm brushing my teeth. This is how I get back into the present moment, because my kitty mind has gone a little crazy. Have you ever given sufficient thought to how you will handle your future fame? What you will do about it to retain your dignity and integrity as a human being? Or do you just suppose that once you go on Oprah, that you're going to remain the inner Kitty? That all your innocence is going to remain. You're not going to be corrupted because, you know, once they knock on your door and say, hey, we want to take you to the big time, they're going to start co-opting your virtue. You're not even going to know that you were virtuous until that moment when it's under attack, when your sense of the appropriate, when your sense of the healthy, when your sense of the real is so under scrutiny, so questioned and so undermined by the people who want to take you to the next level. They don't give a shit about your honor, your code of ethics, your morality. They want to use you to garnish their own image, to emblazon themselves upon the minds of the masses. They will use any image they can that will serve their image. They don't give a fuck about your kitty. What you gotta do is you gotta decide whether the kitty inside you is more important than all the little cat food that they're gonna offer you once you break free of the window and you leap from the second story onto the ground and you see the dogs of war all around you. And you see the signs on the roadway that says, this way to Oprah's palace. Where are you gonna go? You're gonna wanna climb a tree. You're gonna wanna sharpen your claws on the bark. I would suggest, if I were you, blazing at full speed to the nearest creek and jumping in there as a kitty, jumping in the water, seeing how you can swim, pawing the fish, putting the fish in your mouth, getting the fish like this, taking one last final, and sinking your teeth into your destiny.